Hello, everyone. Today, I was going to do something a little different with the gear here. I've got the Prophet 12. So I think a few days ago, I had gotten the Pro 2 and kind of did a first impression. Now, obviously, I've had the Prophet 12 for a few years now. I'm kind of one of those people who I don't really enjoy the sound so much of the Prophet 12. I felt like the Pro 2 was awesome, and I think maybe it has something to do with the filters. I just kind of prefer the sound, although the filters from the Prophet 12 are also in the Prophet 08, and I actually really like that one and think it sounds great. I just have a harder time getting into like a nice pleasing tone with the Prophet 12, but I end up coming up with some patches I really like at the same time. So, I posted. Actually, I haven't posted it yet. There's something I was working on that I posted recently using one of these patches I might play for you. Of course, I forget to rename them, so they're all basic programs. And let's see if this is it. I don't remember, but yeah, I made a few different sounds. I guess it wasn't that one. But I mean, that kind of sounds good. Anyway, let's go to, I think it might be this one I made. It was, but apparently I think I saved over it, which kind of stinks. Oh. Oh no, I think it was this sound. And actually, I think you could kind of hear. I feel like the delay line kind of died because sometimes it it has too much feedback and then it just shuts down. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just dies out. Well, maybe it didn't die out. So let's just we'll turn the feedback up a little bit. And we'll turn the amount down, but yeah. Yeah, I don't hear any I don't hear any there we are. The fourth delay was had too much amount. Yeah, I mean, you get these sounds that I just feel like I couldn't get somewhere else, but I don't know that I like the overall tone. But let's just start with an initialized patch. So to do that, you go to new program. I don't know what this is. These are all sounds. Hang on. Turning off my reverb. So these are just, yeah, you wouldn't have heard that. It was just through my mixer. So I'm to do a new patch, you hit latch and hold. So the left latch and hold button, and then you get this basic patch, which I think sounds really not good. Now, and let's just let's just do something, I guess, and I'll just kind of talk through what I'm doing. So I'm going to change the shape of my oscillator one, and kind of work with the frequency and resonance. And then one thing I've kind of started doing is throwing the high pass filter resonance up, so you won't hear anything. But when you start messing with the key amount, you hit this like area where it kind of makes it a little bit louder. It must be where like the resonance is kind of hitting. And that I've found has kind of given it a little more body. I do usually turn the envelope amount down. I think it's usually set at like max, but I turn it down so I don't get like a ton of distortion. And you can turn the oscillator volumes down. I guess I don't know what it was set to. What was oscillator 2 was set to 0. The rest of them were all set to 0. Otherwise, you get kind of like distortion. You'll get the sound is just like too hot. All right. Now it's kind of quiet, so I'm going to turn the key amount up so I can hear the higher than the low pass filter. So I think this is probably still pretty quiet. I'm going to turn up the amount. All right, so this sounds like, not that great. So I'm going to turn the pan spread on, and I turn it about 12 o'clock. And then we can start changing the oscillator. Well, let's do this. Let's turn sync on. And we'll change the wave shape of oscillator 2. I mean, you can see it's already... This is without having oscillator 2 having its output up. You can turn it up. But instead of that, let's turn that back down. And we're going to have the low frequency, the LFO 1 will affect the pitch of oscillator 2. Actually, maybe let's scratch that. Let's have it do oscillator 1. All right. So let's see. Let's change the shape of oscillator 2. And the reason why it seems like it sounds to me like when you turn noise on for oscillator 2, it basically shuts it off as a source of sync, which is kind of a shame because I know the Ensoniq ESQ can do that kind of a thing, and it sounds really nice. But here, you're just hearing the LFO affecting oscillator 1. But then when you go to a tone, you'll hear that go away. So we can also kind of throw FM and AM up. So when I used amplitude modulation, that kind of thickens things up too. And actually, I'm getting some tones that I kind of like. So let's also do something. We're going to take a mod source, and we're going to have that be oscillator 2, and we're going to have that modulate the filter cutoff. And what I think we'll also do is, well, let's make the attack for the envelopes for the low pass filter and the oscillators. We'll have those kind of like long attacks, and then we'll get some release going. All right, so let's change the pitch of oscillator 2. And next, what I think I'd like to do is use an envelope. So envelope 3, and we're going to route that to decimation. And we're going to actually have a delay. We're going to delay the envelope, and then we're going to have like a long attack, a long decay, because decimation when it's on is kind of overpowering. So it's nice to kind of have it come in after a while. Well, let's make sure we can hear it by itself. Oh, I didn't turn the envelope amount on. Okay, let's try it now. I mean, this is almost something like I feel like you'd hear in like a video game like Doom. And then we could actually have LFO2 modulating the LFO2 could modulate, let's have it modulate the decay of envelope 3. And we're going to have the shape be random. I mean, that's a pretty crazy sound so far. So let's have oscillator or LFO3 modulate the slope of every oscillator. Now we could have oscillator 3 affecting the amount of delay 1. Okay. Oh, I can't do it there. I have to do this, and then assign the destination to be the amount. And let's see. All right, let's turn amplitude modulation down. And no, let's leave that up. I want to leave that up and turn down oscillator 2 for the low pass. There we go. Now we can hear like tone. And we can turn envelope 3, the amount down, so it's a little less overbearing. And I don't have a shape for oscillator 3, so once I turn this on, that's when it's going to affect delay 1. Now it actually kind of gives like a sparkly delay. Next, let's have LFO2, or goodness, delay 2 on. And what we can do is have LFO4 affect the time of the delay. Now it'll sound kind of funky once I turn it on. But we'll turn the frequency down. let's turn the sub oscillator on. So you know, you get, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I actually don't know why it's still going. Must be the oh, it was LFO or the delay too. I think the feedback was too high. And now we can turn on delay 3. And one thing you can do is you can set, I forget what DC stands for. Direct current? I don't know. And then you can assign I'll move the feedback and then move it over till panning. So it's going to pan delay 2 to the left. And then I'm going to do another one, DC, to delay 3. Oops, and that will be delay 3 pan. Now, see, my button 3, the light sometimes goes out. It's kind of annoying, but all right. I don't think I've done anything with oscillator 4. Let's see if we can bring that in. What I'll do is set it to a pitch of G. That's like 7 notes above C. Well, 7, like half tones. Didn't really sound good. I'm going to try turn air and girth up. Maybe that was too high. See, if you put drive up, it kind of saturates the sound a little bit. So I'm going to turn the sub oscillator level down. And we can start having the LFOs also affecting other things, like maybe the shape mod for oscillator 1. And I always have trouble with feedback. Even if you have like a really, I don't know if it's supposed to be like Car Plus strong, or maybe I'm saying it wrong. That kind of synthesis where you've got to like fast delay lines. And usually you get like a really quick sound that goes through them, and it sounds like almost like physical modeling. You can get like flutes and stringed instruments, but I just never can get that with this. Now, this is probably not the sound to make it with. But yeah, I always have trouble with that one. Now, another thing we could do is turn this into like some binaural sort of sound. You know, that really awesome name. So if we go to edit, we can copy A to B. And now, oh, we need to stack them. Now what we can do is you can go into A, and we're going to create another DC, and we are going to assign the mod destination to pan, and we're going to pan the A all the way to the left. And then we'll edit layer B. Hang on. Ugh, I sneezed. Okay. We'll do DC, and we will also hit pan, and now what we can do is edit both layers. Oh, that was clipping. All right, so that was too loud. And we'll assign LFO2 to panning. Might not really work because now they're both kind of panning in different ways. But maybe what we can do is change how fast layer A is panning. So if we'll go to LFO2 and change the... Oh, it's using random. I don't want that one. I'm going to do LFO4, which looks like it's much slower. Okay. So that I'm going to change the frequency of. Also, you got the delay lines that like won't pan with the original sound, so that can kind of affect how you're really hearing that panning. So I'm going to turn the... I'm going to turn off all the delays. All right, let's see if we can turn off. It's funny, sometimes I get into this place where I'm like, oh wait, how come, oh yeah, I see my problem. I've got two layers and I wasn't editing both of them. So now I'm totally gonna have messed everything up here. So we'll turn off all of the amounts for the delays. And what I had done, there we go. Yeah, you know, without like, I don't know, I just like never find myself thrilled to be creating patches on the Prophet 12. Like I just, I'm sure it's me. So I'm going to just skip this. I'm going to make a new patch. And so let's just start off by stacking the 2 layers. And I think I'm going to have to copy A to B just to make sure we're kind of on the same page. And I'll do the same thing where I'll, for oscillator, or for A, I'm going to pan that hard right or left. And then for B, I'm going to pan that hard right. All right, so then let's... So you can kind of scan through like 12 waves. So we've got tines, mellow, church. Here, let's turn the... Oops. Okay, let's go back. So these are the different shapes and how they sound. Tines, mellow, church, muted, nasal, boing, gothic, ah, shrill, oh, buzz, meh, and then noise. And then you can shape them, obviously. And so when you're shaping these oscillators, or these waves, so let's just set the ah all the way to ah and hear what it sounds like when you go through that. So when you hit to the left and to the right, they'll sound the same if it's the same thing. So let's have one be O. You know, it doesn't really sound like a sort of voice, even though it kind of seems like it should. I'm not really hearing it. Also, one thing that I don't like about the arpeggiators from DSI stuff, it's super annoying because, like, if you have hold on, if you turn hold on and then have it go, let's slow it down. Have it go. So it resets every time you press it down, whereas something like on a virus will reset on the next beat. Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. So there's 2 different ways that this works. One is that it'll keep going, but it just adds new notes to the arpeggiator. I don't understand the purpose of that kind of arpeggiator where, like, watch, if I hit one note, it's going to just play that one note in an octave above, or 3 octaves. And now when I hit another note, it'll play that plus the previous one. And then if I add another one, but you can't, like, press it again to get rid of it. Whoops. Oops, now it's going to hit the next note. They fixed this with the Rev 2 and everything after that. I think the OB6 and the Prophet 6. But they didn't fix it here. I don't know why. I just don't understand this kind of arpeggiator. It's never made sense to me. Okay, so let's turn it off. Now, if you go into ARP auto latch, you think, oh, okay, so this will kind of latch them and be new notes, and which is exactly right. But this is where they'll reset the sort of like the tempo. See, it like resets the tempo right when you press down. And that just always bothers me when I'm trying to come up with like use it, unless I'm like hitting exactly on the beat. Just doesn't really work as well as I'd like it to. And one thing I will say is that with the Prophet 12, it's kind of like less is more. Although I end up like cranking some of the knobs just because, well, with this synth, it's like less is more, but sometimes all of it does nothing. So like using FM on a linear, using linear FM, which it's set to, just doesn't do a whole lot for the sound. Well, I'll show you what I mean. So we'll come up with a new sound. Okay, and we're going to put that to a sine wave. We're going to set oscillator 2 to a sine wave. And now typically if this was like a good FM synth, if you put FM all the way up, you'd hear, oh yeah, I mean, that actually does something. That's exponential, but it also, the pitch doesn't stay constant. So when you go to the linear, it's okay. It just doesn't have like a good bite when you get to the top. So let's have the source be the low pass envelope, and we're going to turn that to oscillator 1 FM. Now that's the highest you can get with FM on this thing. However, you can then assign a mod source to, so we'll go to mod source 6 and we'll have it, so we'll have, we're going to have DC, and that can affect, we'll go all the way over 5, mod source 5. Now you'll hear when I turn that up, it'll get louder for... And you can do it again. And this time have it hit 6 or 5. It's like you could keep going with this. But like, why? I wish I didn't have to get that FM sound. You know, I'm using like a bunch of these, so if I just keep going. I mean, I've already used a bunch. I mean, I don't think anyone would practically do this, but see, now it's almost like you're starting to get to that FM, just like grit. You could have an LFO. The pitch of LFO of oscillator 2 being modulated. See, like, I feel like the FM knob should have gotten here with one twist. And I don't know why they made it so weak. So here I just changed the wave shape for oscillator 2. So instead of just being regular sine waves, you can have these complex waves to really change the sound. I mean, it sounds pretty good. It just is a little frustrating that you have to use up so many modulation sources. So I had to get it to sound somewhat how I would expect an FM synth would sort of sound. I had to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modulations, and I think. I don't know if I had the FM pot turned up, but it took so many to get there. But it sounds good, and I know that that's not like what this thing's known for. It's not an FM synth, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't love for it to have done that in a better way. Must have done something here. Maybe. Oh yeah, I turned it to exponential FM mode. That kind of sounds cool. Yeah, this just feels like the 9 Inch Nails version of a synthesizer. Like, it gets real dirty. Just got like a lot of distortion in its path. For whatever reason, it just doesn't get this like pristine sound that I heard when I was using the third wave. Like, it just almost felt like that I could immediately come up with tones that sounded just lush. And then on this one, I feel like I'm struggling to get that. And there's always something underneath that has this tone, and I think it's just the character of the thing. There's just something in there that makes it sound really dirty. I've never been able to put my finger on it. I do know if you look at the equalizer, you'd see that after like 15 kilohertz, you'll see that it does not. It kind of just cuts off there, and I think that's to avoid aliasing, which you can see really bad on the poly evolver, which actually to me sounds better. It's just got this fizzy sound that this just misses, and so this sounds so like mid-range. Again, I come up with sounds that I think are good. But it definitely feels like I take a long time to get there, and they're still not like the sounds I feel like I wanted. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like this was a particularly useful video to make. But sometimes I feel like once I've made it, I might as well show it. So I hope maybe you got something out of it, or maybe you can explain something to me that I'm missing, because maybe I'm just missing something. And again, I feel like I come up with sounds I like, but I don't feel like they're the sounds I wanted. And yeah, I don't know. I've never known what to think about this synth, because it's such an interesting and complicated synth. But the end result is never something that feels like what I wanted. And I know it's got distortion. I didn't use that. And it's got the character section, and the character section is okay. The drive is something I usually put on, but I guess I didn't this time. It's like, for some reason I always feel like, it should sound sort of the way like the third wave sounds. There's just this like really pleasing sound to that. And other synths that I have kind of do the same thing, like the Prophet 10, my Yamaha SY77, the Poly Evolver. They have this lush tone that I just never get from this thing. It's just kind of like industrial. It's the only way I can put it. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of curious what you think. And, how you feel about it. And if there's stuff you think, I obviously didn't go over everything. I didn't go over everything that I found good or not good. And I didn't like, it's not like super in depth, but just kind of going over a few different things that I was doing. And maybe you were kind of interested in the Prophet 12 and thinking, well, I'd like to hear what somebody's coming up with when they're just kind of dinking around on it, which is what I was doing. I didn't really have a plan. It's sort of an unplanned tutorial / demo of the unit. So let's just hope that my video doesn't look like as bad as my Pro 2 video, because I think, something was wrong with that. And we'll see if this is any good. If it is, I could keep doing stuff like this with this or other gear and just sort of walk through what I'm doing. and see if you enjoy that. See if I enjoy it. Maybe I could do one of these with the virus. I kind of already did, but I could do another one. And yeah, thanks for listening.